I used to believe that I was born in the wrong body, and the adults in my life whom I trusted affirmed my belief, and this caused me lifelong, irreversible harm. I speak to you today as a victim of one of the biggest medical scandals in the history of the United States of America. I speak to you in the hope that you will have the courage to bring the scandal to an end and ensure that other vulnerable teenagers, children, and young adults don't go through what I went through.
What's up, beautiful people of YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. My name is Elaru, your host, and today I'm back with another video. I want to check out you guys. This is called She Destroys Transgender Care in 5 minutes. Impressive testimony. You know the drill, guys. We talk less and we react more. Let's check this out.
Ms. Cole, you're next, and you can begin.
Good morning. My name is Chloe Cole, and I am a detransitioner. Another way to put that would be, I used to believe that I was born in the wrong body, and the adults in my life whom I trusted affirmed my belief, and this caused me lifelong, irreversible harm. I speak to you today as a victim of one of the biggest medical scandals in the history of the United States of America. I speak to you in the hope that you will have the courage to bring the scandal to an end and ensure that other vulnerable teenagers, children, and young adults don't go through what I went through. At the age of 12, I began to experience what my medical team would later diagnose as gender dysphoria. I was well into an early puberty, and I was very uncomfortable with the changes that were happening to my body. I was intimidated by male attention, and when I told my parents that I felt like a boy, in retrospect, all I meant was that I hated puberty, that I wanted this newfound sexual attention to go away, that I looked up to my brothers a little bit more than I did to my sisters. I came out as transgender in a letter I sent on the dining room table. My parents were immediately concerned. They felt like they needed to get outside help from medical professionals, but this proved to be a mistake. It immediately set our entire family down a path of ideologically motivated deceit and coercion. The gender specialist I was taken to see told my parents that I needed to be put on puberty-blocking drugs right away. They asked my parents a simple question: would you rather have a dead daughter or a living transgender son? The choice was enough for my parents to let their guard down, and in retrospect, I can't blame them. This was the moment that we all became victims of so-called gender-affirming care.
For real.
I was fast-tracked onto puberty blockers and then testosterone. The resulting menopausal-like hot flashes made focusing on school impossible. I still get joint pains and weird pops in my back, but they were far worse when I was on the blockers. A month later, when I was 13, I had my first testosterone injection. It's caused permanent changes to my body. My voice will forever be deeper, my jawline sharper, my nose longer, my bone structure permanently masculinized, my Adam's apple more prominent, my fertility unknown. I look in the mirror sometimes and I feel like a monster.
Wow.
I had a double mastectomy at 15. They tested my amputated breast for cancer. And I was cancer-free, of course. I was perfectly healthy. There was nothing wrong with my still developing body or my breasts, other than that, as an insecure teenage girl, I felt awkward about it. After surgery, my grades in school plummeted. Everything that I went through did nothing to address my underlying mental health issues that I had. And my doctors, with their theories on gender, thought that all my problems would go away as soon as I was surgically transformed into something that vaguely resembled a boy. Their theories were wrong. The drugs and surgeries changed my body, but they did not and could not change the basic reality that I am and forever will be a female. When my specialist first told my parents that they could have a dead daughter or a live transgender son, I wasn't suicidal. I was a happy child who struggled because she was different. However, at 16, after my surgery, I did become suicidal. I'm doing better now, but my parents almost got the dead daughter promised to them by my doctors. My doctors had almost created the very nightmare they said they were trying to avoid. So what message do I want to bring to American teenagers and their families? I didn't need to be lied to. I needed compassion. I needed to be loved. I needed to be given therapy to help me work through my issues, not affirm to my delusion that by transforming into a boy, it would solve all my problems. We need to stop telling 12-year-olds that they're born wrong, that they are right to reject their own bodies and feel uncomfortable with their own skin. We need to stop telling children that puberty is an option that they can choose what kind of puberty they will go through, just so they can choose what clothes to wear or what music to listen to. Puberty is a rite of passage to adulthood, not a disease to be mitigated. Today, I should be at home with my family celebrating my 19th birthday, and instead I'm making a desperate plea to my elected representatives. Learn the lessons from other medical scandals like the opioid crisis, to recognize that doctors are human too, and sometimes they are wrong. My childhood was ruined along with thousands of detransitioners that I know through our networks. This needs to stop. You alone can stop it. Enough children have already been victimized by this barbaric pseudoscience. Please let me be your final warning. Thank you.
That was heartbreaking, actually. I mean, this whole gender affirming care, look, it's just safe to say that that process ain't safe. I mean, study have shown that everyone who actually goes down this road ends up being depressed, more depressed than they actually were. Okay, just look at her story. Puberty was coming, she had it early, she was scared. And her parents did the right thing by taking her to a facility to get help. What they didn't know was that the facility was going to manipulate them into endangering their daughter furthermore. Telling them that it's better they end up with an alive trans son than end up with a dead daughter. And according to her, as you can rightly see, she said she wasn't suicidal at that time. This is so wrong in more ways than one. And it's quite surprising the extent that these doctors actually go to carry out this experiment. I mean, growing up, I knew mastectomy as a treatment for cancer patients who have completely lost their female mammalian gland to cancer. But I was marveled when I heard it has now been included in the gender transforming process. And these doctors actually followed her stage by stage, making sure that every aspect of her puberty was blocked. The first thing they did was give her puberty blockers. Next, they gave her testosterone injections. And she rightly described the effects that gave. She couldn't concentrate in class. Her grades plummeted. So, in every sense, what was the good thing? What was the right thing they did to help this girl? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They just made her life worse. Making her into something that resembled a man, but not a man. And that's the truth. Even if you do embrace this absurd process with your whole heart, the fact is, you are not what you claim to be. You simply resemble that particular thing. In the end, your hormones will still speak for you. Because no matter how many puberty blockers you take, or testosterone shot, or estrogen pills, or whatever you ingest, you're still going to be the sex, the gender that you were born to be. No matter how much you try to manipulate your body, you're still going to remain that gender that you were meant to be. Just looking at her, I feel absolute sorrow and pain on her behalf. I mean, you really can't blame her parents. It's due to fear, ignorance, or total oblivion of this rubbish going on at the medical institute that made them to actually concede to this. But I mean, at that point when she was 15 that they wanted to remove her organs. I believe something should have been done, but then, who knows? As she said, in retrospect, she can't blame her parents, and neither will I. They took her to the right place out of love and care for their daughter, but it ended up being the worst place you could ever carry a child that's struggling with gender dysphoria too. I mean, just as rightly said, she needed love, she needed care, not to be operated on and experimented on like a surgical rat. You can see the pains she's having as aftermath effect of those injections that she has had. I mean, this whole gender affirming care is a scam, and I really do pray her pleas are looked upon, and she could actually be the key to saving a lot of kids out there, because most of you are just confused, and an adult that just wants to take glory in a breakthrough in experiment will just look upon you as a lab rat and do whatever he wants with you and just get away with it. It's so not fair. I really hope something is done about this, because this everything we just heard, everything we just witnessed is really, it shocked me to my bones. I don't know what to say anymore. Either way, guys, please tell us what you think about this in the comment section. Do well to share your thoughts. And remember to leave a thumbs up at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. And stay safe.